Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. In today's video I have something very special to show you. We found a gecko that has never been seen on YouTube before. It has only been seen by a few lucky people, which now includes us. Now not only have we found this amazingly rare gecko, but we also found venomous snakes, non-venomous snakes, tons of lizards and many more awesome animals. With that being said, let's get right into it.
Oh, jullie hebben helemaal niks.
It has been a while since I posted a video, so if you want to see what we found in part 1 of herping in Morocco, then go check out that video after this one, because we got off on an insane start. In this video, we're starting off with less luck since we didn't find any herps during the day. But at night we immediately found our first herp, which was this Tarantola boomai, or better known as the Morocco wall gecko. This species is found in Morocco and the northern western Sahara, where it is a very common species to come across. It's not a shock that we're starting this video off with this animal. Secondly, we found this Algerian sand gecko, Tropiocolotus algericus. They are native to the Maghreb countries except for Libya. The Maghreb countries include Algeria, Libya, Mauritania, Morocco and Tunisia. It is a beautiful second species of the night, but we are looking for something even more special. So we quickly continued our search after taking some photos. When searching for reptiles, you're bound to find a lot more than just reptiles. Now I'm not an arachnid expert, but if you know what species D2 arachnids are, let me know in the comments. Next up was this Audrey's fan-footed gecko, Pterodactylus audrey, which is also endemic to the Maghreb country. This species has some very recognizable toes, which makes him fairly easy to identify. It is an amazing and unique new herp for the trip, but also not what we are specifically looking for. But just when we were about to call it a night, this happened. Aegis leucogaster, better known as the white-bellied carpet viper, is a venomous snake species that is active during the night. Their name, leucogaster, directly translates to their appearance. Leuco stands for white and gaster stands for belly, which makes white belly together. They adapted this white belly to better disappear into their surroundings, which mostly consists of light substrate like sand. This species doesn't get very big, mostly between 30 and 70 centimeters, and their diet has a big variety of prey, including small mammals, other reptiles, scorpions, centipedes and other small critters. The white-bellied carpet viper is usually a very fast and defensive species, but this individual was very slow and calm. This was probably because the temperatures were pretty low that night, and to be honest, we had been looking for almost 6 hours for this snake. I was almost certain that we weren't going to find it until I saw his head pop up out of a fallen tree. After taking a good look at this little guy and taking tons of photos, it was time to call it a night. Yesterday we arrived at the second location and we immediately went out to try to find Aegis leucogaster. And as you saw, we found him after a very long walk and finding almost nothing. But yeah, we found him. So today we can focus on Euromastix nigriventris and Cerastes cerastes, which I'm pretty excited about, especially Euromastix, because it's a very special lizard to me and I really want to see that species. So we're going out in a minute and yeah, we'll see what the day brings. This is Mesalina simoni, better known as the Simon's Desert Racer, and he takes his name very seriously. These little guys were almost impossible to catch, but after a few dives and some scratches on the arm, I managed to catch one so that we could take a better look at it. Our second herp of the day was this Dumerul's fringe-fingered lizard. Their diet consists of insects, but mostly of the Saharan silver ants. These ants are the fastest out of all 12,000 ant species. The way that these lizards hunt is very interesting though. Instead of digging the ants out of their burrow, they place their own burrow close to the ant colony to be able to feed on them for a longer period. Isn't that crazy? So far it's going pretty decent. We found a Semalina so far, Semalina simoni, and just now we caught a Acanthodactylus dumerili. So some new lizard species for me, or well, I did see the Semalina before, but I didn't get a nice photo of him so that I can put him in eNaturalist. But yeah, new species today, so it's going okay. Now we're going to see if we can find Euromastix nigriventris, and after that we're going to try for Cerastus, so hopefully we'll get to see them. I'm now going to look for some more lizards to see what I can find, but yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. After driving for a while and finding some other animals, we found the gecko that has never been shown on YouTube before. Only a few lucky people have ever seen this species, and luckily for us, we are now a part of those people. I'll tell you what it is after I showed him to the other guys.
Oh. Ja, we hadden helemaal niks. Maar het hoop je ook verloten is nog. Het zou erachter dus. Oeh, wow. Oh, jullie hebben helemaal niks. Je hebt wel de staart kwijtgemaakt.
Nee, dat heb ik niet. Die is alweer aangegroeid.
Jullie hebben helemaal niks. Nee, alleen het ook weer verloten is helaas. Wat een gast, jongen, echt waar. Dan zit hij gewoon ook nog te filmen. Gaat hij deze video.
This is Saurodactylus splendidus. Saurodactylus splendidus is, like I said earlier, very rare. There hasn't been a lot of research done on this species, and there is very little information about this gecko out there. Its distribution is only known from its type locality and one other location 120 kilometers to the southwest. Since these geckos are so rare, there are only a few geckos recorded. The south vent length ranged between 2.7 and 3.1 centimeters. The tail of one of these specimens was 1.4 centimeters on a regenerated tail. The other geckos were missing their tails, just like the individual you are seeing right here. Finding such a rare species is not only amazing to me and something I'll never forget, but also very important to science and protecting these animals. Oh. Ja, Mesalina dacht ik. After walking around for a while and finding absolutely nothing, we decided to jump back in the car to look for Euromastix nigriventris, which was a really good idea. We were just cruising around and scanning the area when Zio spotted the Euromastix we were looking for. Sadly, this one outsmarted us by having his burrow in the middle of an open field where he disappeared. At least we got a confidence boost out of it, since we now knew we were on the right path. A few minutes later we got a second chance, but again they were too fast. At this point it felt like they were going to be impossible to catch.
Kleiner. Ja, het was ook een kleintje.
And you might already expect it, but this feeling was proven right another time a few minutes later.
Ja, ren.
Waar?
Hij zullen maar. Zie je hem niet? Oh, daar. Nou, zo wel. Fuck. Kut beest. Hij ging al zo langs en ik dacht wel van het hoor is sowieso vlak na.
After a while we started to see some life again, starting off with one of the fastest snake species I have ever caught. Psalmophis schokari, or better known as the Schokari sand racer. I wonder where they get their name from. We've seen quite a few of these already and they are fairly common, but it is still a nice species to come across. Dat is een hele goede lijn. Ik geef het op. Hier hoort wat in te liggen. Oh, wacht, wat is dat? Hey, wat is dit?
Oh,
Ja.
Oh ja, dat is cool, maar het daar.
A species we haven't seen yet on this trip is Stenodactylus mauritanicus, which is an absolutely gorgeous gecko. They live near the coast of almost the entire northwestern part of Africa. This species is nocturnal, which means that they are active during the night. This little guy, however, fell down one of the many wells in Morocco. We helped him out of the well, and after we took some pictures and videos, we put him back on a safer spot where he could wait for the night to start. The next well was not too far away and this one looked promising. Zias went into the well where he found this beautiful many-skilled cylindrical skink, Chalcides polylepis, which is native to Morocco and the Western Sahara. This species is active during the day, but we caught this one in a well as well. We also caught this Saurodactylus harisi, but I talked about the species in part 1 of Herping in Morocco. This is probably the weirdest / craziest part of this video. A woman came up to us and although the language barrier was very big, we got the idea that she needed our help removing a snake from her well. Fuck. Misschien heeft ze ooit gewonnen. Dan moeten we slang weggehaald worden. Ja, het zou me op zich niks verbazen als er iets heeft dat weggehaald moet worden. We arrived at the well and at this point we were sure that she needed us to remove a snake, and of course we were going to help her. It doesn't take long to remove a snake from a well, right? Well, if we knew where the snake was, it would have been easier. But sadly, this snake was hidden somewhere in the sand of this woman's well, and we still didn't know what species it was, and we also wanted to help her so we knew she wasn't going to kill it. At this point we were almost certain that the snake would have left the well. We searched the entire well over and over again without any results, but the woman was certain it was still there. And just as we wanted to leave, David proved her right.
Serieus? Weet je zeker? Ja, daar zit. Huh.
It was another schokari, but although we had found this species quite a few times already, it was still a special experience, and we made that woman very happy by removing the snake for her.
Feels good.
At night we went to one of my favorite locations of this trip. Not because of the animals, but because of its unique landscape. We went to the sand dunes to find Cerastes vipera. Tarantola chazalier, or the helmet gecko, was the first find of the night. This species is endemic to Morocco and the Western Sahara. A fun fact about the species is that they are named after the ship Chazalier from the French biologist Raymond Comte de Dalmas. The females lay 2 eggs each clutch, which isn't much, but they can have up to 5 clutches a year. The second find was this amazing Chalcides sphenopsiformis, or Dumerul's wedge-snouted skink, which is native to Morocco, the Western Sahara, Mauritania and Senegal. And what's special about these guys is pretty obvious when you look at them. They have very tiny legs and a shovel-like snout. Although these things look strange at first, they are perfect adaptations for his lifestyle. They are phosphorial, which means that they burrow. So I was really excited to find one of these guys. I also wanted to point out this isopod I found. Keep in mind, this was in the desert, and I didn't expect isopods in the desert, but if you know what species it is, let me know in the comments. I also found this spider from which I don't know the species, but I wanted to test him a little bit, and let's just say I stopped just in time.
Ze kunnen ook zo... Oeh, kijk hem staan dan. Helemaal boos. Oh, oh. Dat zou je vinger maar zijn. Oh, dat zou je vinger maar zijn.
Hij heeft letterlijk die tanden erin, man.
Serieus?
Ja, dat probeert hij wel. Dit zou je vinger maar zijn, ja.
Ben ik even blij dat ik op tijd gestopt was.
Ik heb echt
It was getting pretty late and we still hadn't found Cerastes vipera. And I was getting a little bit bored, so my genius brain decided to jump off a hill because why not?
Dus dat ga ik doen.
Ik ben best wel interessant, best wel benieuwd. Niet je nek breken, hè? Niet springen, hè? Oh, Oké.
Ik maak nog een beste klap van de onderkant.
Oh
yesterday was a very tough day. We didn't find a lot of species. We checked a lot of wells, and I mean like almost 100 or something, I don't know. I didn't count them, but it was a lot. And yeah, with the wells we found Chalcetus polylepis, which was a new species, so that's good. I also found Tenodactylus mauritanicus. So yeah, 2 new species from the wells. And yesterday in the evening we walked for 6 hours trying to find Cerastus vipera in the sand dunes without any luck. I found some Tarantola chatelier, but yeah, that was about it. Some desert mouse or something. I'm not too good with mammals. Hopefully today we'll find some more. And I really want a new snake species. So yeah, we'll see what we find. I'm walking towards a well right now. And today we're going to try to find Euromastix dispar. And in the evening Cerastus. So I'll keep you guys updated, and hopefully today will go a bit smoother than yesterday. After a long time of finding nothing, we finally have a new species of snake. This is a Malpolon moilensis, and yeah, this is amazing. Finally something new. It gives us some hope, because yeah, it was getting very hard to find some snakes. But this is a new species, and it's called a false cobra because he can spread his neck just like a cobra. So a really cool species I really wanted to see, and I'm super happy with this one. Thank you so much for watching. I know it has been a while since I posted a video like this, but I will try to be more consistent from now on, and I promise you, I have a lot more awesome videos coming up, from which I am super excited to share them with you guys. So subscribe if you want to see if I will ever catch Cerastus vipera, and if you don't want to miss out on those upcoming videos. Geeks out.